Hey, welcome back to Mr. Menta's ELL Classroom. Today we are going to be continuing working on Chapter 6. That is our chapter on superlatives. To complete this exercise, you're going to need this page, page 57 of your textbook. You do not need to print that. This page, page 56 of your textbook, you do not need to print that. And this page, page 57 of your activity book. This page I do want you to print if you have access to a printer. If you don't, write the answers on a separate sheet of paper. As always, you also need a separate sheet of paper. I forget to say that a lot. I'm sorry, but hopefully it's just a habit by now. You always need paper. And as always, you can find them in the description of the YouTube video. So today we're going to start with the activity book, mixing it up a little bit. This page didn't really go very well in any other video, so we're putting it here at the beginning of this one. So, loud and clear, R. Fill in the words, then read the sentence out loud. Okay. So, worst, terrible, program, Andrew, actor. So they give you a box of words, and they all go in here, and you have to decide what order they go in. So you got to think a little bit. I like this one. Andrew is the worst actor on this terrible TV program. Okay. Worst, which we go over in another section, is the superlative for bad. Just like good is a weird word, good turns into better, and that turns into best. Well, bad does the same thing. Bad turns into worse, and worse turns into worst. So we don't say badder, we say worse. And we don't say baddest, we say worst. Sometimes people say baddest, but they shouldn't. The rule is you're supposed to say worst. Okay, so that's what you do. Fill in the blanks for the rest of them. I think you get the idea. You got to think about it a little bit, but try out different words in different places. See which one goes where, and I think you can get it. All right? So pause the video, write the answers. All right. Did you pause the video and write the answers? If not, pause it now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. So, I recommend Carla's recipe for fruitcake. It's better than yours. Boy, we're always talking about the recipe for fruitcake in this book. It comes up a lot. Also, that's kind of rude, isn't it? It's better than yours. I guess it's honest. A lot of times things can be honest and rude at the same time. All right. Number 3. Robert is, let's see here, friendlier and more energetic than his brother Richard. Got that? Robert is friendlier and more energetic than his brother Richard. We know that because there's 2 spaces here. So we have to put more energetic here and friendlier here because there's only 1 space. Okay, number 4. Rita reads the newspaper every morning, and she writes letters every afternoon. All right, number 5. Ronald gave his sister flowers and perfume for her 30th birthday. Number 6. My car is bigger and more powerful than my neighbor's car. Kind of shallow, huh? All right. Did you get all that? All right, so let's move on to the main event for today then. So we're done with that. Now go back to page 56. All right? Get out 56 and 57 because it's just one activity. So what we have here is a reading exercise, okay? You are my most advanced class, okay? You've been working on English all year, so I'm not going to read this for you anymore. You have to read it for yourself. I want you to read this about Bob's Bargain Department Store. Read the whole story. Read it carefully, okay? Make sure you understand what the story is about, okay? That's what we come to English class for, to get better at that. So don't skip it. Read the whole thing carefully. Read it out loud if it helps, okay? Then read about this, the Lord and Lady Department Store. So another store. Again, read the whole thing on your own. And then go on to the next page and read this. One more thing about another store. The Super Saver Department Store. Okay? Read all 3 stories. Then you have to answer some questions about the stories. And the stories are true or false. Okay? The questions are true or false. But you do have to think about them a little bit. All right? You really are not going to be able to look in the story and see if it said that exact sentence. A lot of these you have to think about and compare what one story said to what another story said. It's important that you read and understand the stories, okay? So, after that, write the answers on a separate sheet of paper. If it is a false, write what the correct answer is, or write the reason that it's false, okay? And if it's true, you can just write true. So write 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 and 6, okay? So, pause the video. First, read all 3 stories. Make sure you understood them. Then go on and read these. This is a reading exercise, okay? Don't try to skip reading the stories. That's a bad idea. You won't learn anything. And I don't know why you're watching this video if you don't want to learn. All right? So pause the video, read the stories, write your answer to these questions on a separate sheet of paper. All right? I'll wait. All right. Did you pause the video? All right. So let's go over the answers. So, to quickly review, we had 3 stores. First, Bob's Bargain Department Store, which is the cheapest store in town, but it's not the most popular, because there's other problems with it, even though it's cheap. And then we have Lord and Lady Department Store, which has the best products in town. Products are just the stuff that they sell. Okay? And they've got very good customer service. But it's also not the most popular. And then you had the Super Saver, which is the most popular store in town, even though it's not the cheapest, but it's also not the most expensive. It's kind of middle of the road. Okay, so, number 1, Bob's Bargain Department Store is the most popular store in town. False. Bob's Bargain Department Store is the cheapest store in town. The Super Saver Department Store is the most popular store in town. Number 2, the salespeople at Lord and Lady are more helpful than the salespeople at Super Saver. Okay, so this one it doesn't specifically say, but we do know that the salespeople at Lord and Lady are the most helpful people in town. So if they are the most helpful people in town, they must also be more helpful than the other people. So this one is true. Number 2 is true. Number 3, the location of Lord and Lady isn't as convenient as the location of Bob's. Okay? False. The location is the most convenient of Lord and Lady is the most convenient in town. So this is false. If it is the most convenient in town, that must mean that it is more convenient than the location of Bob's. Not less. Number 4, the Super Saver department store has the best prices in town. False. Bob's Bargain Department Store has the best prices in town. The Super Saver is kind of in the middle. Number 5, the home entertainment products at Super Saver are better than the home entertainment products at Bob's. Yes, true. The Super Saver aren't the best, but they're better than many others. Okay? Whereas with Bob's it says at Bob's the home entertainment products aren't very good, we know. And at Super Saver we know that they aren't the best, but they're better than many others. So we can compare those and say, what's better? Not very good, or not the best, but better than others. And we're going to say, not the best, but better than others is better than not very good. So this one is true. Number 6, the people in town say the cheapest department store is the best. False. Okay? The cheapest department store is Bob's, but Bob's is not the best. The Super Saver is the most popular. Okay? All right, did you get all those? All right, I'm not going to worry about this one. You've got the gist of it. All right, so that is, we'll read it. It says, tell about places you shop where you live. The cheapest, the most expensive, the most popular. Talk about what products they sell. Now, I don't know how much shopping you actually do, especially lately, but think about this. What would be the cheapest store in town? Maybe Walmart, you know? And then there's, I like Fred Meyer. It's not the most expensive, but it's not the cheapest. And then the most expensive would be maybe Whole Foods, you know, just to give one example. I think you're good. I think you're good. I'm not going to make you do a separate exercise for this. You finished your reading exercise. You finished your writing worksheet. We're going to call this good for this video. Good job.